What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Nick Branscombe, a.k.a. the Rational Carolina Panthers fan. It is Monday, September the 30th, 2024. The Carolina Panthers played their Week 4 game yesterday. It was against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Panthers lost to the Bengals 34-24. Pretty competitive match overall, but talent-wise, I think they were just outmatched a little bit. And I'm going to talk about that. The most glaring problem on the 2024 Carolina Panthers, it is the defensive line, y'all. So first things first, injuries are kind of starting to pile up for the Carolina Panthers, especially on the defensive side of the ball right now. Of course, Derek Brown tore his meniscus, I think is how you say it, in week 1, and he's out for the season. And we saw yesterday Shaq Thompson got carted off of the field on the sidelines. He is believed to have tore his Achilles, and that would mean a season-ending injury for him. That would be his second season-ending injury in 2 seasons. I think we may have seen the last of Shaq Thompson, not just as a Carolina Panther, but like in his whole NFL career. I think if he ends up not playing again this season, I think we might have seen the last of him. And of course, Josie Jewell got injured yesterday too, but I don't know the severity of that injury yet. Start with the secondary of the defense. I think the secondary is actually fairly good overall. You got J.C. Horn, you got Mike Jackson, Xavier Woods. Those guys are pretty good, solid players for you. And we've seen that, they can get interceptions in games. They've all had at least 1 pick so far this season. And they're not letting, some of these star wide receivers we've played against thus far, not letting them get, burnt too badly. There have been a couple of long touchdown passes that they've given up, but for the most part, they're holding their own in the secondary and, not allowing them to get just big explosive plays all the time. I think that's a big part of Ejiro Evero's defensive scheme, is not allowing stuff over the top too much. Linebacking core is not going to be great, especially if Shaq Thompson and Josie Jewell are going to miss time. Honestly, I don't even know who's next up on the depth chart for the linebacking core. But when you have those 2 guys healthy, Shaq Thompson and Josie Jewell, I think it's an average to maybe above average linebacking core. Certainly no Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis combination, but I think it's serviceable. But the defensive line, it's essentially a bunch of backups and like an old Jadeveon Clowney. You got guys like LeBron Ray, Nick Thurman, Charles Harris up there, and Shai Tuttle's been injured. He hasn't even been on the field. And so those, I think A'Shawn Robinson is a starter in the league, but some of these other guys, they're not generating any pass rush at all on the quarterback. Joe Burrow pretty much had all day to throw yesterday. He could kind of do whatever he wanted, except we did have like 2 rushes against him where the first one, he was able to just get out of it and make a Houdini play for a first down. Then the second one, we got in his face, and he ended up throwing a pick. So goes to show that if we had a decent pass rush, we'd probably be a little bit better off. But unfortunately, it's just not the case right now. And this is partly due to the fact that we let Brian Burns go, Frankie Luvu, Jeremy Chin, all those guys are gone now. Those are guys that were pretty capable of rushing the passer. Now they're gone, so now the defense is in total rebuild mode. While the offense has improved some now that the biggest issue is now sitting on the bench, we have a competent offense again. But now the problem is the defense, and it's, I think, largely due in part to just injuries and lack of talent on the roster. But as we've seen, Dan Morgan did a pretty good job in the offseason acquiring pieces to make the offense competent. We got Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt on that offensive line. That offensive line, as opposed to the defensive line, is one of the best in the league. So now I think, and I hate to talk about offseason stuff, this soon into the regular season, because there's still a lot of football left to play. And who knows, maybe the defense can kind of start to figure it out. I don't have that much hope, but you never know. It's a week-to-week league, and we'll see what happens. But now, this upcoming offseason, I think Dan Morgan is going to focus a little more heavily on the defensive side of the ball. I know we still need to find a long-term solution to quarterback, and that's kind of still up in the air. But for now, Andy Dalton is doing just fine. And I think finding some, more solid pieces on the defense would help a lot. I think if the defensive line was a lot better, then I think we would maybe have at least 1 more win right now. And until that problem gets solved, I think we're going to see a lot of this inconsistency as far as the win-loss column, that there might be a win here, a loss there, a loss here, win there kind of deal. So anyways, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think it's the defensive line? Is it the linebackers? Is it the secondary? Is it Ejiro Evero's scheme? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Y'all take care.